The Battle of Dago, fought in the autumn of 1941, took place on Hiiumaa, known historically as Dago, one of the strategically vital Estonian islands in the Baltic Sea. After the Soviet occupation of Estonia in 1940, the islands became fortified outposts controlling access to the Gulf of Riga and the eastern Baltic. When Germany launched Operation Barbarossa and swept through the Baltics in 1941, the Wehrmacht turned its attention to these islands, whose coastal artillery posed a threat to German naval operations. To seize them, the Germans planned Operation Beowulf, a coordinated assault on Saaremaa, Hiiumaa, and Muhu. The fighting on Dago began in late September 1941. Soviet forces of the Eighth Army, isolated and unable to expect significant reinforcement, attempted to defend their positions and the heavy coastal batteries that dominated nearby sea lanes. German troops advanced through a series of amphibious landings, supported by sustained naval and artillery bombardment that gradually silenced the Soviet guns. The Soviets resisted, but were steadily pushed back as German numerical and logistical advantages took hold. Over several days of fighting, the defenders were forced into retreat, and by early October the island fell under full German control. The capture of Dago completed the German conquest of the Estonian archipelago, securing safer naval routes in the Baltic and removing the last major Soviet stronghold in the region.
Die erste Welle ist gelandet. Unter der Wirkung des schweren Artilleriefeuers haben sich die Sowjets ins Innere der Insel zurückgezogen. Es bietet mit seinen großen Sümpfen und dichten Waldungen beste Verteidigungsmöglichkeiten. In planmäßigem Vorgehen wird Dago, das etwa so groß wie die Insel Rügen ist, durchgekämpft. Nach allen Seiten sichernd geht die Spitze vor. Widerstand.
The land fighting on Hiiumaa, known at the time as Dago, was carried out chiefly by the German 61st Infantry Division, the formation entrusted with seizing the island as part of Operation Beowulf in the autumn of 1941. As the Germans advanced through Estonia, the islands in the Baltic Sea remained among the last Soviet strongholds in the region, their coastal batteries threatening German naval routes. To capture Hiiumaa, the Wehrmacht assembled the division's 3 infantry regiments: Infantry Regiment 151, Infantry Regiment 162, and Infantry Regiment 176, supported by the artillery of Artillery Regiment 161. These units formed the backbone of the assault force that would cross onto the island and press inland against Soviet positions. Alongside the main infantry and artillery formations were the division's pioneers, the combat engineers responsible for clearing obstacles, preparing landing zones, and opening pathways through the Soviet defenses. Their work made the amphibious landings possible, enabling the infantry to move quickly off the beaches and into the fortified interior. Small assault detachments from the Kriegsmarine also accompanied the first waves, guiding landing craft, providing close fire support, and taking part in limited shoreline engagements before handing the fight over to the Army's advancing regiments. Although other German units participated in the wider campaign to seize Estonia's archipelago, the burden of the ground battle on Hiiumaa fell almost entirely upon the 61st Infantry Division. Its regiments pushed steadily across the island, dislodging Soviet defenders and neutralizing the remaining coastal batteries. By combining infantry assaults, artillery fire, and the specialist work of engineers and naval detachments, the division completed the capture of Dago, securing the last major Soviet outpost in the Baltic Islands and opening the sea lanes to German control. German engineers, the Pionier, played an unglamorous but essential role in the German campaign against Leningrad, shaping both the rapid advance toward the city in 1941 and the long, grueling siege that followed. As Army Group North pushed through the Baltic states, the Pionier moved almost as fast as the front-line troops, racing to keep the momentum alive. Whenever the Soviets blew a bridge, mined a crossroads, or cratered a road, it was the engineers who rushed forward under fire to repair the damage. They built pontoon bridges across the Daugava and countless smaller rivers, ferried infantry across water barriers and rubber boats, and hacked paths through minefields and obstacles laid to slow the German advance. Through their efforts, the panzer groups and the infantry divisions kept moving, closing the distance to Leningrad before the Soviets could regroup. When the German offensive stalled at the gates of the city and the siege line hardened, the work of the Pionier changed but never slowed. Instead of enabling forward movement, they now fortified a vast semicircle stretching south and east of Leningrad. They dug trench systems, reinforced bunkers, erected wire entanglements, and laid dense belts of mines designed to break Soviet assaults before they could reach the German lines.
Straßen nach Leningrad sind Schnee- und Regenfälle niedergegangen. Aber unsere Soldaten überstehen mit Energie und Ausdauer alle Strapazen und Wetterunbilden.